Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Usman. Today I'm going to be doing another Cohiba versus Trinidad video, and this time it's going to be the Cohiba Medio Siglo versus the Trinidad Medio Siglo. Now, although the dimensions of these cigars are slightly different, the amount of tobacco that you get is actually relatively close because the Cohiba has a thicker ring gauge of 52 as opposed to the 50 in the Trinidad, whereas the Trinidad is longer at 4.5 inches as opposed to the 4 inches in the Cohiba. Now, the Medio Siglo is one of my all-time favorites. It's a brilliant cigar. It doesn't take that long to smoke, and I absolutely love the cigar. I've been through boxes, literal boxes of this cigar. It's just so good. So this is going to be quite the challenge for the Trinidad, but let's cut these, light these, and get straight into this comparison. First few draws, and that brings back memories. Ah, such a good cigar. Straight away, beautiful, creamy, slightly nutty, vanilla-ish, cocoa-ish type of flavors. Very, very typical Cuban, like the most Cuban flavors possible. You know, typical Siglo Cohiba flavors. It's just a beautiful cigar. I'm going to try not to be biased in this. I mean, I'm going to really try not to be biased in this video, but this is one of my favorites. It's just difficult, you know, but I'm going to try. I'm going to give the Trinidad a fair shake because so far, in my experience, Trinidad cigars have been edging out Cohibas in most comparisons that I've been doing. Just comparisons in my own, in my own free time. But so far, Trinidads have been edging out Cohibas in a lot of different areas. And if you know anything about the cigars that I like, you'll know that the Trinidad Fundadores is my all-time favorite. So Trinidad is my favorite brand of all times. But this is just one of those rare cigars that every time I get one, I'm like, oh, it's just so good. Okay, first few draws on the Trinidad, and holy crap, maybe I praised the Cohiba too much because this cigar is wow. Like seriously, wow. Flavors though, oh man. First of all, before we get into the flavors, because the flavors are just one thing I love about Trinidad cigars is that I think all of them have a pigtail cap. I love that. It means that I don't need a cutter. I mean, I don't use cutters on pigtail cigars because you could just take the cap off and it's so much easier. I just really like that in cigars. And I wish that more Cohiba cigars had that. I know that there's like really premium Cohiba cigars have pigtail caps. I wish that more Cohiba cigars had that. In fact, I wish that most Habanero cigars had that. It's just it's a pretty little thing to have on the tip of the cigar, and also it just makes things a bit easier. You don't need to have a cutter all the time. I just like that about Trinidad cigars. But going back to the flavors in this cigar, you need this. This cigar is incredible. Flavor-wise, beautiful, hot cocoa type vibes with cinnamon. There's like a cedary, spicy note in there, coffee notes coming in, and it's all just amalgamating into this beautiful profile that as soon as you take a draw, because a lot of the flavors, you take a draw in your mouth and you get a lot of those hot chocolate, cinnamon, spicy, woody flavors, and then when you retrohale, the coffee notes start coming through with the rest of the flavors, but the rest of the flavors have like a greater punch, and there's a greater spiciness as you retrohale as well. I'm gonna enjoy this one. Coming to the halfway point on the Medio Siglo now, and in terms of flavors, this is just so good. It has those quintessential Cohiba flavors, and Cohiba, if you smoke Cohibas, you'll know that they have this flavor profile which is relatively unique, and this one very much sits in that category. It's just beautiful. There's a bit of a transition, and that transition is going into a stronger, nuttier flavor, and it's just so enjoyable. Like, honestly, such an enjoyable smoke. The burn is pretty poor, like really poor. I've had to touch it up a bunch of times, but it hasn't really stuck. So, you know, burn's pretty crap. Draw, perfect. Flavors, amazing. Burn, yeah. But who cares, right? The flavor's amazing. Back onto the Trinidad now, and I'm coming to the halfway point where there is a transition, and it's a really nice transition. So those cocoa notes, that hot chocolate flavor, and that coffee flavor's kind of faded. Chocolate flavors faded. It's now quite a bit spicier. It's a spicy cinnamon type flavor with like a cedary, woody note. There's this beautiful oaky flavor that's coming through as well. This is such a nice cigar. Honestly, I am enjoying the hell out of this one. This might become one of my all-time favorites. It's such a good cigar. Burn wise, you know, I've had to touch it up slightly, but nothing major. The draw is pretty much perfect. Good amount of resistance. I mean, nothing uncomfortable, but a good amount of resistance, the amount that you want. Construction is just perfect. Everything about this cigar is just wow. I'm so thoroughly impressed with the Medio Luna. Coming now to the final section of the Medio Siglo now, and I really can't say much else about it. It's just such a good cigar, one that I highly recommend. It's got the ring gauge of the Siglo 6, but it doesn't have the price point of the Siglo 6, so it's more accessible, and you have those beautiful classic Cohiba Cuban Siglo range flavors. So it's one that I regularly enjoy. Doesn't take forever to smoke, and it's the one that I generally pick over some of the other Siglo cigars. Not because this is the best, it's just a good balance between having a really good Siglo cigar, but it's got that ring gauge and it just feels quite meaningful when you're smoking it. So this one, it's just so good. I highly recommend it. Flavor wise, beautiful. The burn, a little bit funky, but nothing that a little bit of touch up can't fix. And the draw, absolutely perfect. Really recommend this cigar. On to the final section of the Trinidad now, and this cigar is definitely something special. It's beautiful. The flavors have transitioned into a more savory note now, and the cocoa and coffee flavors, they've completely gone by the wayside. I'm not getting any of that at all, but what I am getting is this really nice spicy cedary flavor. There's a great deal of oakiness to it. There's even this like almost like a peppered steak type flavor. It's just an incredible cigar. Every time I smoke these, I mean I shouldn't be, but I am. I'm surprised at how good it actually is. And I'll smoke the Cohiba and love that because it is a brilliant cigar. The Cohiba Medio Siglo, oh, so good. But then I smoke this Trinidad and think, Cohiba who? You know, because this is just a fantastic cigar, and in a lot of instances, I'm finding that Trinidad cigars tend to be better than their Cohiba equivalent counterparts. And that's why I'm thoroughly in love with Trinidad cigars. Not every one of them, but the majority of them. They are just amazing smokes. The Trinidad wins in this one, it really does. But that's not to say that the Cohiba is bad by any means. Here's the thing, if you pick up a Cohiba Medio Siglo, you are not going to be left wanting or thinking, oh, I should have got. No, it's such a good cigar that I highly recommend it. You should definitely get the Medio Siglo. You absolutely should. Buy some boxes, age them, smoke them. They are brilliant cigars. This one's just slightly better. I say slightly, quite a bit better. And yeah, this is a definite for collectors, for cigar smokers, for people who enjoy cigars, for people who want to age them, because I think with some age, maybe the spiciness will kind of mellow down a little bit if you don't like spicy cigars. I do like spicy cigars, not all the time, but in certain cigars. And in this one, the spiciness is beautiful. That peppery flavor, that peppered steak type flavor, I think that might smooth out a little bit. But I think that aging this too much might not be a good idea, because those spicy peppery flavors, if they kind of fade, then it might become a little bit too smooth, and those complexities may not necessarily be there. And those complexities where it kind of goes from like a sweeter you know, cocoa-y flavor into a savory flavor, that I absolutely love in this cigar. So yeah, Trinidad Media Luna, this one wins. But again, that's not to say that the Cohiba is the loser. It's not. Both of them fantastic smokes, but no, I can't even say that I'm gonna pick this over the Cohiba, because I think between these two cigars, it does generally come down to your mood and your preference in that particular moment, because I enjoy them both, different times, different moments. This cigar just got that added complexity to it that really, really wows me every single time. Anyway, just want to say thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, hit the like button, please subscribe, share this video. Make sure you check out our website as well. We've got lots of cool stuff which really does help support the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you.